What's up, guys? We're here with Sunday NFL playoff football action for the divisional round. We're going to take a deep dive on the Texans versus Patriots and the Rams versus Bears. I'll give my favorite bets against the spread and over-under, and we're going to look at a bunch of NFL player props. Also, we're going to cover the entire NBA slate, so buckle up. We have a great video for you today. Do me a huge favor and slam that like button. Big shout out to everybody that takes that 10th of a second to click that little like button. It makes a huge difference getting these videos promoted out there and, just getting them out there through that YouTube algorithm. Also, click that little subscribe button down below the video if you are not subscribed to the channel yet. A huge shout out to all the new subscribers. It's been a really nice thing to see that number continue to increase over the last few weeks. It's been great to have all of you on board. Let's hope we can find a nice little winning day out there for all the new subscribers. Also, get in the comments. Let us know anything you want to say about these videos or anything else you see here. Any questions you have about any bets you're looking at across the sports world, I'm more than happy to get back to you. I'm always down in those comments every single solitary day. I at least read, if not read, and respond to every single comment you guys make. Make sure you're checking the pinned comment. That's the top comment below the video every single day. That's where you'll find my favorite picks every single solitary day right there in that pinned comment. And you might want to check back a couple of times per day because we could change things throughout the day if we end up getting late breaking injury information, kind of like we had with the Bo Nix situation. That was pretty wild, but all kinds of stuff can come out later in the day. Just in case, make sure you check that pinned comment. In terms of our results yesterday, it was a very up and down Saturday out there. Got off to an interesting start there with a win in that Broncos game at -1.5. An insane game from both teams. A heartbreak there for the Bills. Some insanely tough calls going both ways. Some huge kicks made. A ton of mistakes from Buffalo, taking some key turnovers. We'll take the win, but that was definitely a very wild game. Unfortunately, there on the San Francisco-Seattle game, crazy work there. We did not cash our underplay, although it was very close. Seattle putting up 41 points of their own. Really made that one a little bit tough to cash. We did cash Kenneth Walker III over 58.5 rushing yards, though, at -111. It was a monster performance from him. 116 yards on only 19 carries and finding the end zone 3 times, so a very easy cash for us on that player prop. On the college basketball side, Arkansas really let us down. The Razorbacks came out and looked shook there in the first half. They were down too big to make a comeback here against a competent Georgia team that played great, so maybe we just weren't quite high enough there on Georgia. The 49ers obviously take the blowout loss there, so our dog of the day gets clapped pretty hard, but we did cash our massive lock of the day there on St. John's, -1.5. It was a more competitive game than I expected, but the Red Storm do come out on top for us, 86-79, behind a very nice day there from Hopkins and a great second half effort from them overall. So nice to cash our lock of the day and stay on track with that one. We've got a lot of action over there on the premium side. It was a bit up and down there on the premium side as well, but it's looking like a nice big winning night there on the NHL side, as long as the Oilers can hold on, but they were up 3-0 the last time I checked, so they're in really good shape. Catching some big unit plays there on the NHL side. It was a very 50-50 kind of day there on college basketball, though, so still staying relatively hot on the college basketball side. No major loss there. It's been mostly upside there in terms of college basketball here as of late. Now, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. We've got tons of great action to cover here on a very busy Sunday. 2 very promising NFL games. Very excited to watch these two after a big day of football there on Saturday. So let's get after it. Right out of the gates here, we've got the Houston Texans heading to New England to take on the Patriots. The Texans come into this game fresh off a 30-6 blowout win there over the Steelers in the wild card round. I know I said blowout, but that might not be completely true, as this was a very close game headed into halftime. No scoring there in the third quarter, and then Houston pulls away to win the fourth quarter 23-0 and the game 30-6. CJ Stroud was fine out there. I'm not ready to throw him a parade for anything he did in that game. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 250 passing yards, sacked 3 times. Really nothing too crazy there from CJ Stroud, and some mistakes mixed in. Woody Marks had a huge day, though. 19 carries, 112 yards for him and a touchdown. Nick Chubb chipped in 10 carries for 48 yards for him, so a good day there. Christian Kirk had a great day, caught 8 out of his 9 targets for 144 yards and a touchdown. The Nico Collins situation is one that we've been monitoring. He will not play in this game, so missing your wide receiver 1 is a pretty big deal. We saw the Texans also fumble the ball away twice, so some pretty big mistakes they're going to need to clean up for this game. Certainly, you can't be making those kind of mistakes in the playoffs and expecting to always get away with it. They did get away with it there against the Steelers, though. Rodgers did not have a very good day against that dominant Houston defense. Picked off once, sacked him 4 times. Very good work there. They shut down the running game. They held DK Metcalf in check. They forced a fumble of their own, so a couple turnovers there for Houston, and the defense gives up only 6 points. Like, this Texans defense has been amazing all season long. Finished the year second in the NFL, giving up 17.5 points a game. very, very dominant stuff. Really have nothing bad to say about this defense. Have they played the toughest schedule this season? I would say no, but they took care of business against a playoff team there in the wild card round. So I have to give them credit where credit is due. A very nice performance from them. In terms of the injury report, Nico Collins is out for this game. He will not be playing in this one due to that concussion. That's a pretty big deal to be missing your wide receiver 1 here in a playoff game. We also see Trent Brown listed as questionable there at right tackle. If he's unable to go, you want CJ Stroud as protected as you can possibly get him, and this could be a problem. Dealing with that ankle issue, that can be a big, big issue there for an offensive lineman. We'll see if he's able to play through it and if he's able to stay out there the whole game. The defense comes into this thing pretty healthy. That's the biggest deal there for this Texans team. They really expect the defense to be the driving force behind really anything positive they get going in just about any game, and the defense looked really good last week, so we'll see. Obviously, they're playing a much, much tougher opponent in this one in the New England Patriots, but the defense has to feel pretty good about their chances of putting out a good performance since they have everybody healthy and ready to go. They're headed to New England to take on the Patriots. Not an easy matchup. The Patriots took care of business, winning 16-3 there against the Chargers last week. It was definitely not a mistake-free day there from New England. I mean, they were playing at home. They take care of business. They get the 16-3 win, but it was a very, very close game going into halftime. Drake May did get picked off once and sacked 5 times. He also passed for 268 yards. He ran the ball 10 times for 66 yards as well, so very good work there in the ground game. Ramondre Stevenson had 10 carries for 53 yards, and the Patriots being able to move it on the ground is a pretty big deal. Ramondre Stevenson, just a monster game. Caught 3 out of 4 targets for 75 yards there as well. Just very, very good work. Really across the board from this offense. Now, Drake May did fumble it once and get picked off once. You can't have him, turning the ball over like that. That's a huge issue that could really come back to beat you, especially against a team as good as the Houston Texans. We do have to worry. I'll always just be a little bit worried about Ramondre Stevenson putting the ball on the turf, but no issues really lately, so we can't be too gun shy about that. The defense was dominant there for the Patriots last week. They looked great. They sacked Justin Herbert, albeit behind a pretty bad offensive line. They sacked him 6 times, only gave 160 passing yards, really shut down the running attack, although they did let Herbert run the ball 10 times himself for 57 yards. That is not a major concern here going up against CJ Stroud. Shut down McConkey. They really just had a great day out there, generated 1 turnover and 6 sacks. That is not a bad day for any defense. And the Patriots defense overall this season was very good, 4th in the NFL, giving up only 18.8 points per game. Very, very good work from this team defensively. They haven't played a tough schedule, but they have taken care of business. So you have to definitely give them credit there. They come into this game looking very, very healthy. The offense fully healthy and ready to go. Offensive line good to go. Skill positions ready to go. And Drake May comes into this game healthy. On defense, we do see Harold Landry III, questionable there at linebacker. That would not be great. Houston definitely will want to establish the run. So having a healthy linebacker core is pretty important. Sounds like Landry is, fully questionable for this one. We won't know for sure if he's going to be able to play through that knee injury until very, very close to game time. Now, other than him, this defense is very much healthy and ready to go, which is nice. A very good defense over the course of the season. You want them healthy and ready to get after it here, obviously, in the playoffs. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, the Patriots are 3-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 40.5. Houston, they're 10-8 against the spread, 5-4 against the spread on the road, 11-6-1 to the under, and 7-2 to the under on the road. The Patriots are 12-5-1 against the spread this season, 5-4-1 against the spread at home, 11-7 to the over, and 6-4 to the over at home. The weather for this game is going to be pretty cold. 34 degrees, 26% chance of some snow. Not too windy, 5-mile-an-hour winds, so those aren't a huge concern in this game. But despite the wind not necessarily being a huge concern in this one, the snow is definitely an issue for me. I'm going to be leaning towards under 40.5. I know it's not a very big number, but big trends towards the under there for Houston. I do think the Patriots, with a relatively inexperienced offensive leader there in Drake May, are probably not going to light up the scoreboard in this game. So I think we're going to see a very, very low total score. So definitely like under 40.5 in this spot. In terms of a side, I got to take the Patriots here at -3. I can't believe this number is holding. It makes me a little bit scared that it is holding, but CJ Stroud on the road is not that great. Outdoors makes it even worse. Not having his wide receiver 1 out there and Nico Collins is a massive problem for what's already not a very good offense. I don't think they're going to have a great time running the ball in this matchup either. I think this defense is good. Don't get me wrong. The Houston defense is excellent, but I don't think they're good enough to, completely shut out the Patriots and win this game for themselves. So unless New England really, really shoots themselves in the foot, I think the Patriots at -3 are a very, very good play in this game. We've also got some player props ready to go for this one. And first up, I'll take Drake May over 35.5 rushing yards at -115. He's been over this number 3 of his last 5 games. Here against the Texans pass rush, I think he's going to be running it even a little bit more often here. And, his speed and ability to make smart moves can put him in great spots to pick up some, pretty clutch rushing yards. So I do think this is a great spot for Drake May's over on rushing yards. And I also think we could take over on his passing yards too. It's a pretty low number, 219.5. He's been over this number 8 of his last 10 games. And while this could be a tough one, especially since he's facing a very strong defense, I still see him getting over this very achievable number, especially if the Patriots running game doesn't get going in a big way, which is certainly possible here going against this Texans defense. I also think this is a good spot to take CJ Stroud under 1.5 passing touchdowns. It's not a very appealing price tag, but he's been under this number 7 of his last 10 games, and I fully expect him to struggle even more here with no Nico Collins and out there in the weather. This guy will probably be the reason they lose this game in some way, shape, and form, and the pressure on him playing outside and everything like that, I think he comes up pretty short in this game. I will take Jaden Higgins over 3.5 receptions, though, at +110. Getting plus money on this play with Nico Collins out feels like a great thing. He caught 3 out of 4 targets against the Steelers. Now with Collins out, he's basically the Houston wide receiver 1. And if they're losing like I think they will be, he's going to get some action in this game. So I definitely think this is a good spot to back Jaden Higgins to get to 4 catches. Also, guys, a play that I think is very good. I'll take Hunter Henry over 39.5 receiving yards at -103. He's been over this number 3 straight games and looks like a very trusted option for Drake May. I fully expect a good, if not elite day from both of them here, playing at home out in the weather. That's not going to be a concern for these guys. So Hunter Henry could be in for a pretty nice performance. Now, guys, before we jump in and break down the Los Angeles Rams heading to Chicago to take on the Bears, we got to shout out the sponsor today in every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, guys, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. We're coming off another very hot day over there on the NHL side of things, cashing all of the bigger unit plays on another very profitable day, having a perfect day there on Friday, and then a very profitable day here on Saturday. Has to feel great there for the premium members over there at Stump the Spread. And guys, you got to make sure you're signing up for those premium memberships over there if you're looking for the best picks out there, because those are not the picks that you're going to see from me here in the videos. I'm not the premium handicapper over there at Stump the Spread for NHL, NFL, college football, any of that kind of stuff. We have experts over there covering all the major sports. Every single one of them has over a decade's worth of experience covering his given sport, and they put a crazy amount of research into those games every single solitary day. College basketball has been on a very nice run recently. Kind of a tough 500 day, break-even-ish day there on the college basketball side on Saturday, but I expect to bounce back very quickly. Honestly, the small slate days, or the days where the guys are looking very deep into those smaller teams, those seem to be the days where we have the biggest wins. So definitely get over there and check out the college basketball stuff, check out the NHL stuff, check out all of the premium picks we offer over there. Some very big unit plays coming up on the Sunday NFL stuff. Also, there's free stuff at StumpTheSpread.com as well. You got to get on that free email list. That's a great resource every single solitary day. Every single week, there's tons of NFL touchdown props, good stuff like that. All kinds of player props coming out in those emails as well. And picks, just regular straight-up picks, picks against the spread. College basketball free picks often end up in there. NBA free picks often end up in there. NHL, maybe someday. We'll hopefully get some of those in the email action as well. Big write-ups on all the niche sports like golf, tennis, NASCAR, WNBA, UFC. I know there was a big golf write-ups coming out throughout the week. There was a big the first big PGA Tour event of the year was this week, and there was a lot of bets to break down in those. I know there was one of the guys that was a big underdog that was tied for first, or needed him to finish in the top 20, and he was tied for first. So lots of great information on the golf side, a sport that I would never have even thought of betting because I don't know anything about it, in those free email newsletters. Also, check the free picks tab over there at StumpTheSpread.com. Always great stuff in there. And both of those, the free picks tab and the free email newsletter, those come straight from our premium handicappers over there at StumpTheSpread.com. So you definitely want to be checking those out. That's a great way to sample what it would be like to have a premium membership just by checking out those free resources. Also, get over to StumpTheSpread.com and consider picking up a Stump the Spread hoodie. We're selling them for $40. That's at cost with free shipping. So definitely get over there and pick up a Stump the Spread hoodie if you are interested in that. And guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, you can click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members-only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single solitary Monday to one random YouTube channel member. Put the name of every channel member on a big wheel. We spin it live on the video, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address of choice. Huge shout out to all my channel members over here on YouTube. Love to see that I've got some super fans out here. Really, really appreciate you guys. Now, let's go ahead and dive back into our other NFL game today. Make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com and checking out everything we offer over there. And let's go ahead and dive right into the Los Angeles Rams heading to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Rams come into this game in a kind of an interesting situation. They're fresh off a crazy win there in the wild card round, beating the Carolina Panthers 34-31, a barn burner of a game. Decent night out there from Matthew Stafford. Obviously, 300 passing yards, 3 touchdown passes, but he was intercepted once. He was sacked once. Mistakes are pretty important there. And only completed 24 of 42 passes. That's not great. These are the playoffs. Any small mistake is going to get absolutely magnified. Ask Josh Allen, who made a ton of mistakes there for the Bills and is going home. But we'll see what the Rams can do in this one. Kyren Williams, Blake Corum both had decent days running the ball. I would not say elite days. Puka Nacua had a monster performance as we would expect, although he only caught 10 out of 18 targets, so that's not great. Devontae Adams only caught 5 out of 13 targets. That being said, both of them looked amazing and are going to create all kinds of issues there for the Bears secondary, who's going to be trying to cover them. But how will they fare in cold weather? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Devontae Adams has lots of experience in cold weather. Puka Nacua, not exactly somebody I would think is going to have a fantastic time in the cold, but we'll have to wait and see. Defensively, the Rams got shredded by the Carolina Panthers. Not great. They gave up 264 passing yards and a passing touchdown to a not great, just quarterback and wide receiver group. Gave up a decent amount, not a ton, in the running game, but gave up 3 rushing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown there to Bryce Young. They had no answers there for Jalen Coker. He had 134 yards and a touchdown on them, catching 9 out of 12 targets. So definitely not a banner day there for that Rams defense. It's been a bit all over the place this season. They finished the year 10th in the NFL, giving up 20 points per game, but gave up a lot against the Falcons and the Seahawks there to end the season. Also gave up a ton there against the Lions. Just really didn't finish out the season looking that amazing defensively. So we'll see what they can put together in this one. They do come into this game fully healthy there on offense, but the word on the street is that Matthew Stafford is dealing with a pretty messed up finger. Banged up his hand on a follow-through there in the second quarter, against Carolina, and his accuracy and touch dipped pretty aggressively afterwards. He still played the entire game, didn't come out, but I am very, very concerned. He was officially diagnosed with a sprained index finger, but I mean, obviously he's going to play. I don't know, man. Having a messed up finger when you're playing in 17-degree temperatures with 12-mile-an-hour winds could be a little bit tough to deal with. So we'll see how Stafford looks out there. Everybody else on the offense is listed as healthy and ready to go for this game. We'll see, how healthy they are. I expect Devontae Adams to maybe be okay. I worry about Puka Nacua, though, in the extreme cold. Colby Parkinson, I do actually expect to have a pretty decent day. We'll talk about him when it comes time to look at some player props. Defensively, they are also very, very healthy and ready to go coming into this game. But like I said, guys, this is a group that's used to playing in warm weather or inside. And yeah, this could be a little bit of a tough situation for them, although they should be in a bounce-back situation. But also, they haven't looked that great the last few weeks. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Chicago Bears, who can't come into this game fresh off a absolutely bonkers 31-27 comeback win there over the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round. Absolutely insane stuff. Caleb Williams, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, some truly amazing throws down the stretch, though, in that game. Only completed half of his passes, but ended up with 361 yards. He was only sacked once. He didn't do too crazy much with his legs, 4 carries for 20 yards. DeAndre Swift had a pretty good day, 54 yards on 13 carries and a rushing touchdown. Loveland was the monster there in the pass catching game. Only caught 8 out of 15 passes directed at him, but had 137 yards. DJ Moore had 64 yards and a touchdown. He caught 6 out of his 7 passes. We'll see what we get out of Rome Odunze in this game, but overall, a very nice day offensively for the Bears, especially in that fourth quarter where they ended up outscoring the Packers 25-6. Now, defense is a huge concern here for the Bears. They gave up 4 passing touchdowns and 323 passing yards to Jordan Love, and now they got to go up against Stafford. The hope, the prayer, the idea is that Stafford, his hand, is actually going to slow him down. We will see. Josh Jacobs did not get much done there against the Bears, so the Rams might not be able to run the ball the way they would like to in this matchup and in this kind of weather. So we'll see. The Bears also struggled against Romeo Doubs and a little bit against Matthew Golden, so when you're about to take on Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, that adds in some more room for concern here for the Chicago Bears. So we'll see what they can do here defensively over the course of the year. The Bears have tried to be like a bend and not break defense that takes advantage of some turnovers, but being 23rd in the NFL, giving up 24.5 points per game is clearly not ideal. The injury report here for Chicago looks okay. Rome Odunze is on the injury report there offensively, though. Miss one of your best wide receivers would suck. He's dealing with a foot issue. He's questionable for this divisional round game. We'll see. He was limited there in walkthrough on Wednesday, a capped practice on Thursday due to that lingering foot issue. So we'll see. He did have a full session on Friday, so it sounds like he will be out there. Will he be at 100%? Probably not, but I think he'll be as close as anyone is at this point in the season. On defense, they are fully healthy and ready to go. That has not always translated to success this season, obviously. So we'll see if the Bears have what it takes to slow down one of the more dynamic offenses out there. Some good news for the Bears is they're getting 4 points in this game. It's not a ton, but they are getting over a field goal. We've got a total of 48.5 here. The Rams are 12-6 against the spread this season. They are 5-4 against the spread on the road. They are 11-7 to the over and 8-1 to the over when playing on the road. Chicago, they are 11-7 against the spread this season, 6-3 against the spread at home, so good against the spread at home. They are 9-8-1 to the over and 6-3 to the under at home. And guys, weather is a big concern in this game. It's going to be 17 degrees, 12-mile-an-hour winds, 20% chance of snow out there, which I don't think the snow is a major concern here, but the wind and especially that crazy temperature is a big deal in this game. I know we've got some trends here pointing towards the over, especially from the Rams, but I'm going to be leaning towards the under in this game pretty significantly. 48.5 isn't a crazy big number, especially with these two teams, but I am leaning a bit towards the under here. Will it make the pinned comment? It's got a chance. I don't know if it'll actually make it in there, but in terms of a side, this might be our dog of the day, guys. We're taking the Bears at +4. Stafford, with that sprained finger in an extremely cold game, I think it's going to be a tough spot for him. Getting more than a field goal here sounds good with the Bears playing at home against a warm weather team. Stafford is 7-11 in games under 40 degrees, but doesn't struggle that horribly in cold games. I'm just worried about him out there. I'm worried about the whole team, including this defense. It looks so bad against the Panthers. Like, are the Bears better than the Panthers? Yeah, they freaking are. And the Panthers only lost by 3. Go ahead and give me the Bears getting 4 points here, playing at home in an extremely cold weather game. In terms of some player props for this one, I'll take Caleb Williams over 1.5 passing touchdowns here at +122. He's been magical down the stretch late in these games and late in the season. In general, he was great. He's had at least 2 passing touchdowns in each of his last 5 games and in 7 of his last 10 overall. The Rams defense, especially playing in the cold, does not scare me that much, and I think this is a pretty good spot for Caleb Williams to once again deliver on all the hype that has surrounded him basically his entire life. I really like Colby Parkinson here, over 19.5 receiving yards at -114. He's been over this number in 5 straight games and 9 of his last 10. I do worry about Stafford's finger, but I think that's going to be a much bigger issue in pushing the ball down the field. And also, Parkinson can get over this number in like 2 or 3 catches, and they don't have to be deep down the field. So I think he's in very good shape in this one. I also really like Devontae Adams to have a decent day in this game. Obviously, the Stafford finger issue does come into play with him a little bit, but getting over 55.5 yards in a cold weather game for somebody who's used to the cold weather in his career is not that scary to me. He was well over this number against Carolina, and while it worries me that he only caught 5 out of 13 targets, I do expect him to get over this number here as the most experienced cold weather player here on the Rams. On our last prop for this game, I'll take DJ Moore over 2.5 receptions at +102. Rome Odunze will be out there, but he might be a little bit limited. DJ Moore went nuts there against the Packers, looking very good. I don't think it's crazy to think he gets back to something close to that, even if the Bears wide receiver room is more healthy in this game than it was in their last one. Now, guys, after a quick break to say goodnight to Baby Stump, we're hopping in to look at our full NBA slate here on Sunday. First up, we've got the Orlando Magic taking on the Memphis Grizzlies out there in London. Now, these two teams just played. We saw Orlando make a pretty decent sized comeback to end up getting the nice little win there. They didn't play great in the first half. Maybe the nerves were getting to them or something like that, but they came out very strong, dominated the third quarter, and end up eventually getting the 118-111 win in the Berlin game. So now we're going to see them playing in London. We'll see what things look like here. Jaren Jackson Jr. had a monster day there for Memphis. I don't know if he's auditioning to get traded or if he really just wants to help make things work there in Memphis, but I'm not envious of his situation, or really the situation of any of the veteran level players there on the Memphis Grizzlies, because the whole John Morant situation has become clearly very untenable. They just lost a game where they shot 47% from the field, so 47% from three, 46% from the field there by the end. They got dominated on the boards. They gave up a ton to the Magic. Paolo Banchero had a big game. Franz Wagner came back, had 18 points in 27 minutes. Did make 3 out of 4 from three. Mo Wagner played 14 minutes and was very productive. That dude is just immediately productive coming back off that injury. So you love to see that. Anthony Black had a monster dunk. He played great and was a plus 17. Overall, a very, very good day there down the stretch there from the Orlando Magic. Now, in terms of injury reports from these two teams, sounds like there's a chance Ja Morant plays in this game, according to what his coach is saying, but I'll be honest. I mean, I guess he's listed as probable. Sounds like he's going to be out there. I would not be shocked to see him straight up sabotage this game somehow for the Memphis Grizzlies with the way that whole relationship has been going. In terms of the injury report there for the Orlando Magic, it's looking about the same as it has usually been looking here recently. No Jalen Suggs expected for this game due to that knee issue. He will not play here in London. But other than that, they are healthy, rested, and ready to go. The Grizzlies are getting 3.5 points here in this game. We've got a total of 230.5. Orlando's 7-13 against the spread on the road. Both teams are really on the road, so these numbers don't mean as much. They're 7-15 against spread after win. They're 21-20 to the over. Memphis is 9-11 against spread at home, 10-12 against spread after a loss, 24-16 to the under. In terms of the total here, I could maybe wrap my head slightly around a bit of an underplay, but I'm not in love with that. Much better than that. I'll just take the Orlando Magic here at -3.5. I don't have a lot of good things to say about the Grizzlies. I think Ja coming back will actually potentially just create more issues for this team, and I think the Magic can play much better. The Grizzlies are definitely going to shoot the ball much worse from three here in the second game of this, little two-game series over across the pond, so definitely think the Magic here at -3.5 are in a very reasonable spot. Next up, guys, we've got the Brooklyn Nets heading to Chicago to take on the Bulls. The Nets come into this game 12-27 on the season. This is game 2 of a little home and home series against the Bulls, where they just played 2 games. Well, the first one was played in Brooklyn. The next one's going to be played in Chicago. In the game that took place in Brooklyn, Michael Porter Jr. made a nice go-ahead basket. The Nets eventually get the 112-109 win. Michael Porter Jr. has 26 points. Some pretty questionable body language there from Cam Thomas, who got sat out down the stretch in this game after being just fucking god-awful out there. He made only 3 of 13 from the field. It still was a +4 somehow, but it wasn't his fault. It was more because Danny Wolf and Day'Ron Sharpe were playing amazing. But seeing Cam Thomas look upset that his team won the game while he was on the bench is certainly a really, really bad look. Noah Clowney played well in this game, so there were definitely positives for the Nets. They had a nice little edge there on the boards, and yeah, they come into this game looking relatively banged up, if we're going to be honest. No Michael Porter Jr. in this one, no Drake Powell either, so maybe Cam Thomas will get his chance to go out there and score a bunch of points in a losing effort, which is kind of his MO over the course of his whole career. Yeah, definitely no Michael Porter Jr. there. He's going to be out for rest purposes for this game. The Bulls come into this one struggling a little bit. They're down to 19-22 on the season. They did not play particularly amazing there at Brooklyn, although could have potentially won that game. Not a great showing there from Vooch. He struggled a bit. 19 points there. Only 6 rebounds. Got to do a little bit better there on the boards. He was still a +8, so maybe I'm casting aspersions as the wrong guy. Buzelis was terrible. We didn't necessarily like we saw from Okoro in that game. The bench really didn't look good outside of Dosunmu, which is something that's pretty often the case there for the Chicago Bulls. Not exactly a ton of talent coming off the bench. They had a nice little deficit there on the board, so that's something else to be worked on, and still going to be without Josh Giddey for this game. Sounds like Kobe White will play, but Giddey, still dealing with that hamstring issue, is officially doubtful. Sounds like he's getting close, but not close enough to actually end up playing in this game. So looking at the numbers, the Bulls are 6.5-point favorites here at home. That's because Michael Porter Jr. is sidelined. We've got a total of 222.5. Brooklyn, they're 9-8-1 against the spread on the road, 5-6 against spread after win, 24-15 to the under. The Bulls are 10-11 against spread at home, 9-12 against spread after loss, 23-18 to the under. I really don't have much of a lean on the side in this one. I almost want to take the Nets getting that many points, even though it's a bounce back spot for the Bulls. So, yeah, I'm going to stay away from the side, but I do like the under here a little bit, especially no Michael Porter Jr., no Josh Giddey. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of points put up here offensively. So, give me a little taste here of the under, but no major lean on this game. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the New Orleans Pelicans heading to Houston to take on the Rockets. The Pelicans are 10-34 on the season. Freaky Z is getting himself into more weird off-court drama that doesn't really seemed very necessary to me. Seems like you could handle your business a little bit more quietly, but he's playing great, so I really have nothing bad to say about the dude. 27 points, 10 of 12 from the field in 33 minutes. He's doing what he can on a pretty bad team. Him and Trey Murphy, monsters. Derek Queen, a very, very nice young talent. Sadiq Bey, playable, but this team has very little bench. Jordan Poole, not impressing me that much with his 11 points in 17 minutes, and this Pelicans team is just a losing team. They end up getting beat by 8 points by the Pacers despite shooting 42% from three. They did a good job on the boards, kept things pretty much even there. They just find a way to lose games. So the Pelicans doing a very efficient job of taking things out. They will have no Herb Jones. They'll have no Jose Alvarado for this game. So it's going to be pretty much the normal crew that you see for the Pelicans as they go on the road here to take on the Houston Rockets. Now, Houston, they got a nice bounce back after a tough loss against the Thunder, getting the 110-105 win over the Timberwolves. That being said, that was a game against the Timberwolves with no Anthony Edwards, and it was really, really close for the vast majority of that game. So I'm not ready to throw Houston a parade. They were playing on no rest in that one, so hats off to them for a max effort. KD playing a pretty crazy amount of minutes here recently. I am monitoring him for some sort of wear and tear related injury because you just can't play somebody his age that many minutes. He had a monster game, shot the lights out, had 39 points on 11 of 18 from the field. Crazy, crazy work there. He played amazing. Sengun, 3 of 9 from the free throw line is very troubling, but he had 25 points and 14 boards. We liked what we saw from Reed Shepherd off the bench, but this team continues to look pretty thin there on the bench. So that's definitely a problem here, especially as they continue to play Durant a lot of minutes. Still no Tari Eason. He's not going to be back for this game. It doesn't look like he's officially questionable with that ankle injury, but I would be a little bit surprised to see him out there. Everybody else is ready to go. I'm not going to say they're rested, though, because they've been playing a lot of minutes here recently. The Rockets are 12.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 229.5. New Orleans is 8-11 against spread on the road, 16-16-1 against spread after a loss, 24-20 to the over. Houston is 7-9 against spread at home, 11-12 against spread after win, and they're a 500 over-under team. I will take the Rockets here minus 12.5 as a small lean. I just don't trust the Pelicans to really hold things together here at any point. But given the lack of depth there on the Rockets, I do feel like it's a little bit tough for them to win in massive blowouts because the bench doesn't usually expand or even necessarily hold on to the leads that the starters build up. So this is going to be a small lean, not a major spot. Rapid fire through these games, we're looking at the Charlotte Hornets heading to Denver to take on the Nuggets. The Hornets come into this game fresh off a 136-116 loss there at the Warriors, and that was they'll be playing on no rest. They were playing there on Saturday. That was a little bit of a disappointment down the stretch. Although they got off to a bad start, they really weren't able to make a massive comeback there in the second half either. Brandon Miller had a good game. Conca didn't have a terrible game. He had 24 points. Oh no, he had an amazing game. 9 of 14 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. Very good work there. But no LaMelo Ball in that game, except for no LaMelo Ball in the starting lineup in that game. He had 21 minutes played there off the bench and 15 points. 1 of 8 from 3, not necessarily great. They did do a good job having a little bit of an advantage there on the boards, but when you lose to the Warriors when they don't even have Jimmy Butler out there, that's not a great look. They gave up only 14 points to Steph, but Moody played great. Big contributions off the bench from DeAnthony Melton, and Buddy Hield put up 14 points. You don't see that every day. So a good team win there for the Warriors to take down the Hornets, who are once again looking a little bit disjointed out there, and their roles are not super well defined. We like the energy they get from Colin Sexton off the bench. Having Grant Williams back could be helpful. Kalkbrenner is good when available. LaMelo Ball, Knupel, and Brandon Miller, and Miles Bridges, those are the stars. Those are the guys that need to be out there together. Moving LaMelo Ball in and out of the starting lineup really doesn't make any sense to me unless it's something to do with an injury. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kind of weird. It's the front half of a back-to-back set, so I guess they were just trying to play him less minutes. That's why they brought him off the bench. So we'll see what they can do here going up against the Denver Nuggets, who are also going to be playing on no rest. They're coming off a 121-115 fairly competitive game there against the very shorthanded and tanking it out Washington Wizards. Denver did kind of need that big fourth quarter to get the win. A monster 42-point game there from Jamal Murray. He really, really had it going. Peyton Watson also playing great here. Tim Hardaway Jr. got on a heater and had 30 points off the bench. Nothing crazy there from Bruce Brown. Aaron Gordon, 32 minutes, only 8 points, but posted close to a triple-double. He needed one more bucket, and he would have had that triple-double. So he was very, very productive out there. That being said, 39 minutes from Jamal Murray. I'd be pretty surprised to see him play in this game. 32 minutes from Aaron Gordon. He's not used to playing on back-to-backs right now. Obviously, Peyton Watson, Tim Hardaway Jr. should be fine. So we'll see what the Nuggets can do in this one. See if we've got an updated injury report here. I'm not expecting it to be fully updated. Yeah, right now it just looks like no Christian Brown. We'll have to check back and see what kind of injury news we have for everybody else. Right now, the Nuggets are listed as 3.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 230.5 in this game. The Hornets are 13-9 against spread on the road, 16-10 against spread after a loss, 7-1 against the spread on no rest, 24-18 to the under. Denver, they're 10-7 against spread at home, 5-2 against spread on no rest, 26-15 to the over. No major lean on the total for me in this game, but I think this is going to be a huge regression shooting spot for the Denver Nuggets. I don't expect them to shoot the ball nearly this well. I don't expect to maybe even see Jamal Murray play in this game. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I think we're going to dive in and expect him to not play here. Give me the Charlotte Hornets getting 3.5 points here on the road. This is a potential dog of the day spot. I think it's a pretty good situation for the Hornets right now. They're playing well, just didn't get the result they wanted. I think we'll see another good game from them. As long as they're even anywhere close to fully healthy, I think they can keep this one very close or potentially even steal a win there against what should be a very tired Nuggets team. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Portland Trail Blazers heading to Sacramento to take on the Kings. The Trailblazers now are 20-22. They're coming off a very nice 132-116 win there over the Lakers. And this wasn't even really the full strength Portland Trail Blazers. I mean, this loss is a big indictment of the Lakers. But Donovan Clingan, a monster performance, 18 points, 11 boards, 4 assists. Very good work from him. He was a plus 16. Shadian Sharp was a monster out there as well. Shot 50% from the field and 50% from three. 25 points. He was a plus 20. The bench looked really, really good as well. Drew Holiday was productive, although not amazingly so in his 20 minutes. But Jeremy Grant came back 22 minutes and 22 points. Very, very good there. Caleb Love had 22 points in 31 minutes. He played great. They won this game comfortably by smashing the Lakers on the boards. And yeah, things are looking pretty bleak there for the Lakers, but they're pointed in the right direction for Portland, who's been making all this noise without Denny Adjeva on the floor. He's been missing games. He's listed as out. We'll see if there's a possibility he comes back for this game or not. He's been dealing with that back injury. He was listed as doubtful for that game against the Lakers, so we'll see what he can do here. Potentially, coming back on the second half of a back-to-back. A back issue can be a pretty finicky thing. We'll have to wait and see on that. Other than that, they look like they should be healthy coming into this game. We'll see, though. You got to kind of wait and see on this injury report. Now, the Sacramento Kings, they won 4 in a row, taking down the Wizards, Knicks, Lakers, and Rockets. Maybe they're auditioning for roles on different teams there after the trade deadline. Maybe they're just figuring some things out. It's a little bit hard to tell what's going on there exactly. In that win, we saw pretty big stuff there from DeMar DeRozan, 17 points from him, 16 from Levine, but it was a big Russell Westbrook day. He went 6 of 9 from 3, not something you see every single day. He played well. Sabonis came back, had 13 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists in his 21 minutes, looked pretty good himself. Schroeder came back and looked rested and ready to go off of his suspension, so really they just played great. They shot 48% from 3, not something you can count on every night. Only 19 of 30 from the free throw line, so that is a bit of a concerning trend there. Not a great free throw night for Schroeder, among others, but they do manage to beat the Wizards, albeit a terrible team. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The injury report for Sacramento looks, pretty much fine. Sabonis healthy and ready to go after his one game, so they should be ready to get after it here. They're 1.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 228.5. Portland is 10-11 against the spread on the road, 6-1 against the spread on no rest, and they're a 500 over-under team. The Kings are 10-12 against the spread at home, 6-5 against the spread after a win, 23-19 to the under. With the Portland injury report not updated yet, this is a hard one to pick. If we're going to see a lot of the Blazers sitting out, like Jrue Holiday and Denny Adjeva, then we'd want to go with the Kings. If we do not see that, then this suddenly becomes a bit of a tough spot. Now, Portland should be a little bit tired in this one, but they've dealt with playing on back-to-back nights very, very well, so this is going to be a slight lean towards the Blazers for me until we see an updated injury report. Last but not least, we're looking at the Toronto Raptors heading to Los Angeles to take on the Lakers. The Raptors, they just played at home in Toronto against the Clippers and took the 121-117 loss in overtime, so that has to sting a little bit. We liked what we saw from Scotty Barnes overall. He had 24 points, albeit pretty inefficient shooting numbers. Brandon Ingram was fine, but 19 points in 41 minutes is not what they need from him. This was not the full strength Raptors either, so that is part of the problem. Grady Dick continues to play well off the bench. We're seeing some decent production off the bench. They shot 33% from 3, which isn't great. They were even on the boards with an older team. That's also not great. They struggled a bit with Zubac, but the good news is they're about to go on the road to take on a team that is not really set up to beat anyone right now. It doesn't feel like. We do still have lots of injury concerns for the Raptors, though. Quickly, RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl all on the injury report. Quickly, dealing with that back issue is officially questionable for this one. RJ Barrett dealing with an ankle issue has been ruled out, and Jakob Poeltl has been ruled out as well, still dealing with that back problem. So we'll see who they've got available here as they head to Los Angeles to take on the Lakers, who just lost to the Portland Trail Blazers. Not a great showing out there. LeBron plays 32 minutes, has 20 points. Marcus Smart actually leads the team in scoring. He was shooting the ball well from 3 and had 25, but the Lakers take a pretty convincing loss there against the Portland Trail Blazers. Drew Timme, 21 points in 29 minutes was only a -2 out there in a game the Lakers lost. I don't know why that dude can't get a little bit more burn on the NBA court, because every time he's out there, he's very productive, it feels like to me. The Lakers lost this game despite shooting 42% from three. It just feels like they don't have much out there when they don't have Luka. They got crushed on the boards in this game. That's a big, big problem. So we'll see what they can do. Playing on no rest here. Will LeBron be available for this game? Will Luka potentially come back for this game? Marcus Smart's on the injury report. DeAndre Ayton is on the injury report as well. We'll see. Ayton dealing with that knee issue. Didn't play against the Blazers. Obviously, we'll see if he comes back for this one. Smart, some sort of undisclosed injury, exited to the locker room in the fourth quarter of that game and did not come back. So we don't have a very updated injury report. Luka sat out due to left groin soreness. We'll see if he comes back for this game. So without a clear picture of the injury report, this is a tough one to pick. The Lakers are currently listed as 1.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 226.5. Toronto is 11-9 against spread on the road, 7-10 against spread after a loss, 26-17 to the under. The Lakers are 10-9 against spread at home, 3-4 against the spread on no rest, 24-15 to the over. This is a situation where if the Raptors stay as banged up as they look and Luka comes back and plays in this game, we will certainly like the Lakers here. But if that's not the case, if Luka's going to sit out, I'll take the Raptors. Even if they are still very banged up, I'll take the Raptors here. The Lakers just look absolutely atrocious with no Luka Doncic. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Make sure you're hitting that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribing to the channel if you're new around here. All those likes make a huge, huge difference to the channel, help get these videos promoted out there, and really help keep me motivated to grind out a new video every single day. Same deal with hitting that subscribe button. It really lets me know that the channel is building and that more and more people are coming in and enjoying seeing my content. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're getting down in the comments. Let me know anything you want to ask over there. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com, guys. Check out all the free stuff over there. Definitely check out those premium picks. Another monster day out there from all of our experienced handicappers. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.